Hi everyone, and welcome back to Cooking in Pink Boots. Hello and Hafa day everyone. Today on Cooking in Pink Boots, I will be making another local favorite from my home, my beautiful island of Guam, called Chamorro yeast doughnuts. And I will also be showing you how to make our local Chamorro sweetbread using the same exact ingredients. Now, yes, I'm very well aware there are so many ways to make both these yeast doughnuts and sweetbread, but what I found to be quite intriguing with this recipe is unlike most yeast donuts and sweet rolls or bread, this one is completely lactose free. Yes, meaning my little one can enjoy them as well. This recipe was given to me by my godmother, also known as my Nina, Miss Julie Q. Tenorio. And although I did alter it very slightly, I hold the original recipe along with her in my heart. Now, this recipe is going to show you exactly how we, the Chamorro people of Guam, can take almost nothing and turn it into something so delicious. Now, let's get started, shall we? For the ingredients, for our dough, we'll be needing 3/4 of a cup of warm water, 1 package of fast-acting instant yeast, or active dry worts as well, with a bit longer of a rising time, 1/3 of a cup of white granulated sugar, 1 3/4 to 2 cups of sifted all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons of crisco, 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now for the rolling and handling of your dough, you'll need about 3 to 4 tablespoons of flour. This is an extremely sticky and moist dough, but trust it'll all be worth it. And for the coating of our donuts, combine into a large Ziploc bag 4 tablespoons of white granulated sugar, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Or if you prefer, as the original recipe calls, coat with plain white granulated sugar. It's all about how you like it. And for the topping for our sweet rolls, you'll need 1 tablespoon of melted or room temperature butter or margarine, using vegan if wanting to keep it completely lactose free, and white granulated sugar to sprinkle on top. Okay, let's begin with bringing our water to a temperature of anywhere between 110 and 115 degrees. Then to it, add our package of yeast. Now mix that up till dissolved, then cover and let sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. Now the 2 added ingredients from the original recipe would be the salt and vanilla extract that I had added for additional flavor. But if you do not have it or just prefer to leave it out, that's perfectly fine too. It'll be delicious either way. Now note, when working with yeast, adding too much salt can slow down the rising process. All right. Now to a large bowl, add your yeast and water mixture, then your 2 tablespoons of Crisco, using the back of your fork to mash it down. Now you can always use a stand-up mixer for this, but unfortunately I don't have one. But it's okay, because I'm Chamorro made. I got this. All right, adding in my sugar and mixing that all up till the sugar is completely dissolved. Then adding my vanilla extract. Now, here I have my flour all sifted and ready. I'm going to start by mixing in 1/2 cup at a time. Then after adding in a full cup of my flour, I'm going to add in my salt. Then continue to add in the remaining flour, removing my wedding ring because it's time to get a bit messy. All right, after adding the remaining flour and kneading it with my hands, I'm looking for a very sticky, doughy consistency. And once I got that into another large bowl, I'm going to flour the bottom and sides, then transfer my dough into it, gently patting it into shape. Don't worry about getting it nice and neat. It'll all come together. Now, cover with a dishcloth and place somewhere warm for about 45 minutes to 2 hours to rise, doubling in size. Now, if your dough has not rised by then, it could be due to many factors, from too much salt to humidity or old yeast. So do not attempt to proceed any further, nor try and fix it. Just like the song says, dust yourself off and try again, or you will end up with greasy, overly dense donuts. Okay, now once our dough has doubled in size, we can begin making our donuts. And by the way, this recipe makes up to 8 large-sized twist donuts, or a full 9-inch round pan of sweetbread. Now you can always double all ingredients for a larger amount. All right, now starting with our donuts. Now traditionally, we just pull small amounts straight from our risen dough and form a small ball and roll out our logs. But I'm gonna just flour down a flat surface, then dipping only my fingertips into the flour, getting a light coat to help loosen the dough, then lightly coating my entire hands with flour to handle my dough. Now I'm gonna roll the entire dough using my rolling pin, getting it into a shape of a rectangle and cutting out 8 even slices using a pizza cutter that I have dipped into flour to prevent sticking. Then from there, I'm going to pull one log at a time, doing an opposite twist to keep it from bouncing back, then forming my twist, shaped donuts, then setting aside for about 15 minutes for it to slightly rise, reaching almost double in size. And now it's time to deep fry them in vegetable or canola oil, being sure my oil is hot, but keeping the temperature of my stove to medium heat to prevent it from burning. Then, once nice and golden, place on a strainer or wired rack till slightly cooled. Then drop it into our sugar and cinnamon mixture, getting it fully coated, and get ready to enjoy. Oh my, will you look at that? So tender and pillowy soft on the inside with a nice texture from the outer crisp and the sugar coating. This is so addictive, I can't stop eating it. It's so simple with such simple ingredients, and it's so good. You and the family will love them, especially when served fresh. Now let's move on to our sweetbread. Just follow the entire process of the donuts till reaching the point of twisting our logs. Rather than twisting the logs, we're going to cut out even cuts, then roll into little balls and place them close together in a 9-inch baking pan that's lined with parchment paper and sprayed very lightly with non-stick cooking spray. And once again, cover and set in a warm place for about 20 to 30 minutes to rest and rise, reaching almost double in size. Then bake at 350 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes or until nice and golden on top. Then as soon as it comes out, it's ready to eat, or butter the top with thick coat and sprinkle a generous amount of white granulated sugar for extra sweetness and texture. By the way, these make great sliders without the sugar topping, of course. Now, look at this. Oh my gosh, this is so moist and delicious. It just melts in your mouth and it's so easy to make. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and please be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any upcoming food adventures with me, Charlene, from right here in my kitchen, where every day I'm cooking in pink boots. With her, of course. Bye.
Bye.
Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, and sizos maasi.